Hi everyone! As you can tell by my Fringe hat and the two Comic-Con bags that I have behind me that I'll get to in a minute, I'm going to talk about Fringe today. Fringe started 5 years ago with season 1. This is my box set for season 1. I really like it because it's got the holographic front on it and it shows, when you twist it back and forth, it shows the glyphs. Now if you were a super fan, there's a chart made of all of the glyphs that you see in the cuts between the commercials. You can go and record all of those glyphs that happen throughout the episode and they spell out a word. Hi. Hi. This is Doc. He's one of my dogs. I have two. He's a Shiba Inu. So season 1 started and we meet the main characters, and Peter, who is the main character for pretty much the entire series, that you find his story evolves as it goes along, and he plays a pretty important part in season 3. He is sort of a scoundrel, no good, he's a genius, uses his brain to get what he wants, talks himself into situations. The FBI needs him so that they can get access to his father, who is a mad scientist and is in a mental institution, so that they can look into this Fringe event. Every week, it's not really an ongoing episodic type program. There are, throughout the first couple of seasons, a couple of ongoing storylines, but the first few are Monster of the Week, good guys, bad guys, how do we defeat it, that sort of thing. It gets more story-driven as the episodes and the seasons go on. In season 3, there's quite a bit that happens. I don't want to spoil anything. Okay, spoiler warning, if you don't want to know what happens, stop watching. Okay, so at the end, Peter disappears, and then Fox ran a really interesting campaign between the summer of season 3 and season 4. They ran a Where's Peter campaign, and they had internet people try and figure out where he disappeared to. He just disappears in like a flash of light in the very last episode, and you don't know if he's going to come back or not. I want to talk about the final season and how it went from being this episodic show to this very focused storyline through the last 13 episodes. We start out and we're thrown 20 years into the future. The main characters are frozen in what is called amber. They're rescued, they're revived. They now have to fight the bad guys, who you've seen since episode 1 and are in every episode if you watch for them. They're called the Observers, and they're bald-headed guys who wear these fancy snazzy hats. You can not only decipher the glyph word on each episode, but you can also find that there's always a scene that has an observer in it in every, I'm not going to say every episode, but probably pretty much every episode. It's like the pineapple in Psych. There's a pineapple in pretty much every episode. So we find out that they're actually the bad guys, and they're actually from an even more distant future, and they've traveled back in time, and it's a race against the good guys, Peter and his crazy mad scientist father, and the FBI agents that they've been teamed up with to basically save humanity. Can I just say John Noble for all the awards? The man is a genius. The number of times in this series that he brought me to tears without actually saying a word, with just his actions and his presence, and he's never been recognized for the work that he did on this show because it's been considered a sci-fi show, or it's not something that the industry takes seriously, which is unfortunate because it is a very, very good show. I know I have a couple of friends who have expressed displeasure at the final season. I enjoyed it. I liked the show when it became a little bit more focused. It gave it a direction, it gave it, you knew you were always moving ahead, you were looking for that goal, which is always a good thing with a television show. It's nice to have a show that you can sit down and watch an episode here or there and not really worry about missing anything. You should watch it. I still don't know how I feel about how it ended. I think I need to watch the 2-part finale again. As you can see, I have 3 of the seasons on DVD. I still need seasons 4 and I will need season 5. Unfortunately, where I live, we don't have Target yet, and a lot of TV series are quite expensive when they come out, so I don't buy them right away. We've talked about Comic-Con. These are my Comic-Con bags from the 2 years that I have been. This was the one from 2011. I didn't think about it, but I got Fringe bags both years. So we have Peter, Walter, and Olivia on this one, and there was an alternate version of this bag that was available. And I don't know how many they printed, but there weren't many, and every now and then you would see the alternate reality, because this was from when the alternate universes happened. So that was really cool. And then the back is Comic-Con. I'm actually going to send this one to a friend of mine, and she's going to turn it into a satchel bag for me. And this is the one from last year. It's Walter, Olivia, and Peter, advertising season 4. I don't know if I like this one as much as I like the other one, but, I mean, it's Fringe. So I have my 2 bags from Comic-Con, and I have my hat from the final panel, and when we camped out for Hall H, which is where the final Fringe panel happened last year on the final day of Comic-Con on the Sunday, so we camped out overnight, and it was, again, a pretty emotional room to be in. A room where you have a show that's beloved by their fans ending, and a network giving it a chance to say goodbye and to give you that final story. It's pretty intense. You could feel them getting choked up, and they would stop and take a break so that they wouldn't lose it and cry in front of all of their fans. So it's a very good show. If you haven't watched it and you're still watching this, you should definitely check it out. You can do some of the fun stuff, like you can look for the glyphs in the shows and figure out all the words. There's a code online that has the cipher. I'll link it in the stuff below so you can find it. And enjoy it. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on Fringe. Bye!